What's up, everybody? John Arapola here with my MMA News, and today's guest will be fighting Mads Burnell at Bellator 285. That fight date, September 23rd. Pleased today to be joined by the number 6 official Bellator featherweight, Pedro Carvalho. Pedro, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate the time.
Just a little correction, number five.
Number 5. Okay, my bad, my bad. I am sorry. I thought I
All
looked and
good,
saw
all
6.
good.
Fun fact, I am dyslexic, believe it or not. So I do screw up letters and numbers constantly writing things
No, but
down.
I
So I will take your
understand. I
word.
understand. I understand because I was number six when the fight got announced. Like on the poster, it's written number six there, but in the meanwhile they updated the rankings. But it's all good. I'm just messing.
Okay, so number 3 versus number
I'll
5.
be number three anyway in 2 weeks, so it's all
Yeah,
good.
exactly. They're going to be changing that again very shortly
Exactly.
here, right?
It's all
So,
good.
yeah, so anyway, I do want to start with just how excited and fired up you are for this matchup because if anybody logs on your Instagram account right now, they're going to see it. You could tell that you are very emotional. You are very amped up for this fight. Put all these emotions into words you've kind of been expressing about just how excited you are to get back inside the cage here.
I mean, I'm always emotion when I'm fighting someone because fighting is my life. Fighting is my passion. I love fighting. And of course, the biggest the challenge is, the more excited I am. And Mads Burnell is a pretty big challenge for me. And number three in the division, it doesn't need any introductions, and that makes me even more excited to go out there and beat him. To go out there and remind everyone that who actually am I and what I'm doing here. And I want to go towards the belt. And the best man right now, probably, or one of the best to beat right now, it's him, and that's it. And fighting, of course, in front of home crowd, Dublin, pound for pound, best crowd in the world. Everything is like a perfect scenario.
I say we're going to get into that Irish crowd in a second. I do want to actually talk a little bit about this matchup to kind of get things going here, right? As we stated in the beginning, 3 versus 5. Obviously, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out that that is a major matchup in any division. Just want to get your thoughts on this matchup and what it means for the state of the whole Bellator division. Like, do you think a win here kind of gets you knocking on the door of title contention? Now, there are a few things going on with the division at the moment, so you could say it's a little log jam and things got to play out and whatnot, but just your thoughts on the matchup and where kind of things might put you.
Yeah, like, nothing is for sure, of course. There's always a lot of variables going on. But if we think in a very, very, very logical way, I go out there, I beat Mads Burnell, and I think logically after that, I will be facing the winner of Jeremy Kennedy and Aaron Pico fight for a number one contender spot. I think that's the logical thing to do because outside the four of us, in this case, there is me, Mads Burnell, Pico, and Jeremy Kennedy. On the top five, who's left to fight for the belt? AJ McHugh went up to lightweight. Borix is now fighting Patricio. No one's left, and it has to be someone. So I don't believe that a win over Mads Burnell will put me straight away right there. But I do believe that it makes very sense, a logic, to face, the winner of Jeremy Kennedy and Pico fight.
Absolutely, that does make sense. And like I said, a lot of moving parts, a lot of things to be determined in this division. But we do know that your fight is obviously booked for the 23rd. Let's get into this here now a little bit more. Training camp going on right now, starting to wrap things up there. Just how'd your camp go for this fight?
Great, very, 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 very good. I did some changes. I changed some approaches. There were things that needed to be changed and needed to be improved. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy because I could see and feel it, the changes, and how better of a fighter I am right now. And I needed to be a better fighter going into this fight. And I said it. I said it last year that I knew that my fight with Weishel will be the fight of the night. I will be victorious, but my fight with Weishel will be the war slash fight of the night, and it was. And I just know that this year against Mads Burnell, it will be the performance of the night. Mark my words.
Yeah, I say a lot of fans are excited for this matchup and for good reason. I think he summed it up perfectly there. I do want to talk a little bit more on these training lines now. Obviously, you mentioned before, right, fighting in front of the hometown crowd in Ireland. Obviously, anybody that follows your career knows that you're originally from Portugal. Well, now I know you've been spending a lot more time in Portugal. So I know if any fans have been following, they might be a little they're like, hey, what's kind of going on here? I thought he was with SPG. What's he doing in Portugal? And he's posting these training photos and videos from Portugal. So explain all of that, because obviously I know you had a new baby. You decided to make a move. Explain the whole entire reason. That's why we might see you in Portugal a lot more nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, I am Portuguese. I'm a Portuguese man, my country is my country. But yeah, I was, before I have my second baby, I was living 24/7 in Ireland, and then we had my missus got pregnant from our second baby girl, and was a logical thing to come up there. We had to come back to Portugal, not of course the entire time in my case, in this case, but in their case, yes, to so we can provide the best support to the kids and healthcare and everything, make sure that they have everything they need. And yeah, and I just need to make them, it's not even an effort. It's just like I'm still training over that. I made sure that I surround myself with great professionals, and I have very very good guys, coaches, teammates there help me while I'm there. And and as soon I get my fight schedule, I come here, to the headquarters, make my preparation. So all's good. Like I said many times, who doesn't want find excuses, who wants it find solutions, and that's it. I my entire life I found solutions, and that's not even a thing.
I hear you there, man. And let's talk a little bit about SPG Ireland now. I know you mentioned, right, a lot of great minds there, a lot of great training partners. I want to talk now about those great minds that you had there. I just had Johnny Walker on recently, and I asked him this question too. What is it about the guys there, John Kavanagh, Owen Roddy, that makes them so special? I mean, they've been so good at coaching the sport for such a long time now.
The best thing that I can say is, their brains, using their brains in your favor, and it's something else, working with these men. It's absolutely an honor, and I'm so grateful. And the results are visible, and I speak by myself. The amount of improvement over the years that I had of working with them, and correcting mistakes, and just getting better at what I was already good, and keep that improvement, that development process. And every time as well, they make sure that you are on the right path to that improvement and towards your goals. And it's like I say, it's just a blessing, and I feel super grateful to have some of the best masterminds of all time. For me, the best coach in the world, that is John Kavanagh, in my corner, is just like an extra motivation, extra confidence factor going into any fight.
All right, so let's finish up the topic here with Bellator 285. You had mentioned before, right? You said Ireland, pound for pound, the number one fans in the world. And I would agree with that. Now, I've had one experience with the Irish fans. I was in Las Vegas, and it was when Conor McGregor fought Chad Mendes. I was just in Vegas on vacation as a fan. Wasn't even at the fights. I believe it. That was a big one for the Irish fans there. And I still remember after Conor won, I was in the MGM Grand that night, and I never saw anything like it. Like just the chants, the running around, the yelling, the hanging off the ceiling of I mean, all hell broke loose in the MGM Grand that night. It was absolutely wild. You've gotten the experience now of not only being there as a fan while all the Irish fans are yelling and screaming, you got to also fight with it. Just explain it into words, just how great these Irish fans are and why you're so happy to fight in front of them.
It is, it's very it's nearly fucking, it's hard to explain. And for me it's so special because I remember the first day, the first time that I set foot in this city, of course not counting the airport, that is the very first place, but the very first place where I set foot when I got out of the bus was just it was by mistake. And me and my girlfriend, we got out of the bus, we walk, and then out of nowhere we were in front of the Tree Arena. There was where UFC, Bellator, everyone does the shows. And I just had this feeling of fuck one day, because at the time I was just a 20-year-old kid pursuing the dream, and I was like, fuck, one day I'll be fighting there. And just to give you a perspective, in my entire life, I always loved to fight. Like for me, fighting, it has to have a crowd. It's mandatory. But the energies from the crowd to you, positives or negatives, for me never bother me. Like I like to suck all that in, all the environment, but it never affected me in any positive or bad way. Just, it is what it is. But it was the first time last year when I fought Weichel that I felt this huge, it was like I was fighting with someone else in there. And I will never forget, on the first round, I throw a middle kick to Weichel, and he caught my leg, took me down, and he ended up on my back. And on the first second or 2 seconds, like normally when you are the home crowd favorite and you are in a bad position like that, like someone on the back, everyone goes silent because everyone goes like, oh shit. Like that didn't happen there. Like everyone just out of nowhere started even shouting more. Like it was crazy. And I remember on the second round, I landed a very good left hand that rocked Weichel, and out of nowhere I felt like 10,000 people screaming at each punch. And at one stage I wasn't punching, I was punching to try to finish, but I was also punching to feel that energy, because every time I punched everyone was screaming. And it was surreal, it was amazing. And I'm buzzing and I can't wait to be in there again. And only thinking about that, it gives me goosebumps. And I can tell, like, fight out, no fight, it doesn't matter, going into a fight show in Dublin, it's a lifetime experience that everyone should have.
Yeah, it's on the bucket list. I would love to experience something like that too one day, to actually be over there and to get the whole fight thing down. On the contrary, though, I want to ask this question. This is something that I've heard from two of my favorite analysts I listen to, Chael Sonnen and Michael Bisping. Both have said this, where when you are fighting at home, it could be extremely stressful because all of a sudden you have a lot of extra media, the hometown guy, you got family, friends, all these people reaching out, they want tickets and whatnot. Is there anything difficult to being fighting in front of your hometown like that? Or is it not that big of a deal for you? Like you said, you are Portuguese, you're not technically Irish, Ray, so is there a little bit of leeway there that's not as bad?
No, I understand. I understand the idea, and I understand a lot of time that a lot of guys feel the pressure because fighting in front of all your friends and everyone. But no, I feel completely opposite. Of course, there's always pressure, but it's not a pressure because I'm fighting in my hometown. It's pressure because every fight has its pressure moments and things, and this fight also has its pressure because I need to get this win, to get into the title picture and everything, and that's the pressure part. But for me, it's completely the opposite. It's just like feeling the energy, their huge positive energy to you just involves you, and because my entire life, even in Portugal, I always was the one going into territory enemy to fight, and I just got used to go into a territory enemy fighting with a home crowd, hometown guy, and beat him. So for me, having, because it was rare, and I think it was the first time that was the home crowd guy, it was just amazing. It was just a bless, and helped me a lot. And so no, I don't find pressure at all. I like I said, the pressure comes from the competition part itself, but that's everywhere in any part of the world.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, just to close things up, I want to ask you about two future matchups here going on. First one, Pitbull, Adam Brocious, that fight coming up right after yours. Also on that same card, AJ McKee is moved up to lightweight. Just want to get your thoughts on first Pitbull's title matchup, and then obviously with AJ McKee being at lightweight, do you think he stays there? I know he's a bigger guy. Do you think because he kind of has the whole thing with Pitbull, he's still ranked like number 2? Do you think you see him maybe moving back down eventually? Just your thoughts on kind of the long-term thing of this division.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, I do think that AJ McKee is gonna, beat the guy. It's a fight done and meant to him to win. And I hope he wins, so he stays there, so he doesn't bother the rest of us, because we want to have our time into the title picture. Because if he decides to come back, it's probably him, but we never know. Anyway, from the fight, Patricio with Borix, I do think it's going to be a very good fight. It's going to be a very good fight because Borix is in his moment. Is fighting very good, very smart, and but at the same time, I do think that Patricio takes it, because like his biggest weapon is undoubtedly his power that he has. Everything he throws with a lot of power. But I think his even biggest weapon is very intelligent, and in a way, Borix plays a game very similar to Patricio in concerns of don't take major risks and always wait for the right time to make the right decision, and that's very, very, very nice. But at the same time, I think it's a kind of style that favors Patricio, and I think I do think that Patricio wins this fight, and after that, let's fingers crossed. But like I said, at the same time, I'm not too worried about it, because I know that I won't be, even with a fantastic win, I won't be the next in the line. I know I still have to do at least one more fight, so I'm not in a rush. And even if it was like, I'm not in a rush. I had my opportunity. I messed up. I fucked it up. I learned with it. I grow with it. And now I just want to make everything right, and that's the good part of, maturity and experience. And just right now, I'm not in a rush. I know I'll be world champion. I know my time will come. So I'll just, step by step. Right now, my hands are full. September 23rd, that's all my mind is thinking. Is not thinking in anything else in the future. I know the future is there. It's kind of aligned in a way with the fights schedule right now, but that's not what I'm thinking right now. Right now, my focus 100% in Mads Burnell. Go out there, put on a performance, beat him, be victorious, and then we'll see.
Let the chips fall where they may from there. All right, man. Appreciate the time. It was a great conversation today. Last thing before you roll out, social media, management, sponsors, anybody give a shout out to? Take it away.
Yeah, everyone can find me in, Pedro Carvalho MMA, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. But I always like this particular time to thank my sponsors, but mainly thank everyone that supports me from Portugal and Ireland, especially. It's absolutely amazing to see the amount of support I received over the past years, and still today. So I'm forever grateful, and that's it. Thank you all, and let's go.
All right, Pedro, thanks so much for all the time here today, man. Really appreciate it. I'm fired up for this matchup, too, just like you are. It's a big one in this division. A lot of big fights coming up here in the Bellator featherweight division, so it's going to be a fun one to watch it all play out here. So anyway, before I roll out, just want to thank everybody that watched today's interview. If you'd like to, please go to the bottom, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and keep going to MyMMANews.com. Check out all of the great work that comes out there. Go to our social media pages, give us a like and a follow as well. We'll see you later, everybody.